Hey guys, Ryan W. here from Bearable Traders. Just want to go over my trade recap for 6/15/2018. So today, Friday, quadruple witching, so we got a lot of options expirations and contract expirations and just expirations all over the place. So typically on these kinds of days, we don't really get much action. It's a lot of sideways chop. Sometimes, towards the end of the day, we may get a little bit more volatility, but really it's just a matter of everything kind of just staying in a sideways chop. And on top of that, in the pre-market overnight session, we had some tests of some really major support levels around 72, 71, 74 in that general range. So, going into today, it's just a matter of seeing, how these levels played out. And as we can see, to the upside, we have pretty limited, movement, more looking towards the bearish downside. So, going over my trades today. Basically, the market opened. We had a nice push up here into this previous volume point of control area right around here. And I waited just to see, what would happen. I was tempted to take the short here, but I said, let's just let things play out. So I actually waited, and I ended up going long right around here. And I went long my first with two contracts. My first stop out was right around here. I took my first contract off. And then the second contract, actually, hang on a second, I put that in the wrong spot. Yes, I went long right around here, and I'm sorry, my first contract I took off right around here, and then the second contract I took off right at the VWAP, just because VWAP is always pretty strong. I wanted to see what would happen. When I noticed, I started seeing things pulling back and volume diminishing, I said, you know what, let's just take this off, just because, I didn't want to risk too much going on here. What was keeping me in the trade was tick was in a positive, upswing. We were moving up, going went above the zero line here, and the ADD same thing. We had nice positive movement to the upside. Now, where things went messy, I'm not really proud. So I took a 5-point win right out the gate for a nice profit, $385, whatever it ended up being. So I'm sitting here watching price action unfold, and I'm watching the ADD, the advanced decline line. I drew this trend line, this yellow trend line, horizontal trend line here, just to see what it would do around the open if it would break above it, and it actually did. So we had a nice movement in the ADD. It was pushing up higher. Tick was above the zero line, and we were testing VWAP right here. So I said, you know what, this looks like it's going to be long, going to be a nice long. So I actually jumped in long right around the VWAP with the first target to be right above this level here, and then pushing up higher. Well, it turns out I was totally wrong. And despite the fact that, the ADD and the tick were positive, right around this time as we tested this level right here, this previous volume point of control, where I was long, the tick started to show down, extremes to the on the overbought side, and started pushing down. And the ADD pretty much topped out, and we started this downtrend. And me being the jackass that I am, said, well, I'm not going to be wrong here. I'm going to hold it. So I removed my stop, which was right around here was my stop loss. I took it out completely. I said, let's see what happens. And I doubled down, which is the trader's biggest mistake. In any environment, you should never double down. So I doubled down right around here as we broke through here. And I held this trade all the way down. And I doubled down a third time right around here because I'm a jackass. So I had three contracts long, and this thing just sold off. We found some support right around the 2765 area, and it bounced up, and I actually ended up, surprisingly, I held it through here to this upside movement, and I took off my position for, I'm not down for the day, I'm up, but, lots of mistakes today. Really the trade that I had at the open, that 5-point move up to VWAP here was the trade. And I mean, and the funny thing is too, when I was looking to take this trade, when I took this trade, I went long above the VWAP. Everything inside of me said, go short, take this short. This is not a long setup. And what was telling me that is the price action. So despite the fact that our ADD was really bullish, was pushing up really high, we had new extremes on the tick, which extremes on the tick are usually not a good sign either. When you have a new tick extreme that shows, exhaustion, and, increased momentum, but we're more than likely reaching an exhaustion, a point of exhaustion. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened here. And, going back over this whole week about, being wrong and fear of being wrong and, of course, fear of losing and taking a loss, I didn't want to be wrong because everything was saying this is going to push higher. The ADD was pushing up. You should be, this is going to blow up. This is going to blow up. But price action did not follow suit. You know, with the ADD going up the way it was, we should have seen this with no problem pushing up. I mean, this we should have had a nice big ass bar just like this breaking through this level. That would have said we are golden. This thing's going to blow higher, but it didn't. Rather, it hit this level and just bounced off and just sold off, into hell. So, a lot to learn here, a lot going on, and I'm frustrated with myself because I traded very poorly. I should have taken my stop and put my tail between my legs and moved on, or just waited and watched what happened and maybe gone short here because this was a clean short setup. Hell, this was a clean short setup up here, but I said no, I'm going to go long because I was misreading the market internals. And once we crossed back below the zero line and the ADD broke this purple trend line or whatever color fuchsia, whatever the hell it is, trend line that I have here, I should have gone short, or not even short, just taken out of my long positions and just let it be. But I didn't, and it was a painful lesson. And you know what? I learned a lot, and emotionally, I'm still. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm still kind of frustrated and upset with myself, despite the fact that I'm in the black for today. I have profit today. I just traded so poorly, and I removed my stops. I doubled down. I took the wrong position. I did everything wrong. This was a classic textbook case of doing everything wrong. And even though I got back in the black, which I'm quote unquote rewarding myself, which is the wrong thing to do because I'm reinforcing bad behavior, I know that and I'm cognizant of that, and that's what's important. And I'm pissed at myself. I'm truly upset with myself because I just traded so poorly. I did all the wrong things. All because I'm trying to prove myself that I can do this and I can do this well and I'm going to do it right. And that is a huge problem. And if you find yourself, if you're like me, a very emotional person, and you have to prove to yourself because you've had so many years of trading on and off and not doing well, following other style strategies, whatever it is, and you have to kind of prove it to yourself and significant others and the world that hey, I can do this, I'm going to be successful with this. You're going to get yourself into trouble because when you have that mentality, that's when things go to hell. And as is clearly evident today, I mean, this was just a prime example of what not to do. So, I'm happy I have profit, but I really shouldn't have profit. I really should be in the red substantially. And I know that sounds like I'm being hard on myself, but really, why should I have been rewarded for something that I didn't do right? And truly, I did everything wrong today. So, it's tough. I'm ending the week on in the black, but not on a high note. I wanted to go out today. Really, I should have just left this first trade, this first 5-point winner, let it be, because that would have ended my week on a high note, and I can go into the weekend as a happy camper. But instead, I'm going to sit here, ruminate. I'm going to be upset with myself, and really, I should get over it. But it's part of the learning experience, and realizing hey, you got to do the right things. You cannot let your emotions get in front of you and affect you like this, because you're going to take big risks and you're going to take really poor trades. And this was a prime example of that. And thinking back historically over trades in the past, not just futures trades, but equities trades, whatever, options trades, whatever other vehicle I was trading over the years, I would pull the same stuff. And I'd allow my emotions to cloud my judgment. And I think that that's something that really I need to focus on a lot. Understand how the mechanics work. Yes, I took the wrong trade. I should not have gone long here because this was going higher and we had a new tick. But you know what? Whatever. That's fine. Learning lesson. I should have cut my losses and moved on. And one thing in my personal life that I've been playing around with is I tend to probably drink more alcohol than I should. And this entire week, my last drink was on Sunday afternoon. I had a beer, and up until last night, I had no alcohol the entire week. I was clean, everything was good, and I had a good week. And my trades reflected that. I made the right decisions. I did the right things. And last night, I had a bit of a crazy day yesterday with clients and all sorts of nonsense. So I said, let me, it's okay. I've gone most of the week without having anything to drink. it's okay to have a drink. So I had a couple of drinks, two drinks, and I wasn't hungover. I didn't get smashed or anything like that. But it's funny with how I'm feeling today. Even after this 5 point win, I felt good about it, but I didn't feel great about it. Whereas earlier in the week, I had a 2 or 3 point win, and I was on cloud nine, saying, "Holy crap, look at me, I'm doing great." So it's going to show me that at least during the week, I shouldn't be touching any alcohol because clearly it clouds my judgment, it affects my emotions, and it just impacts me negatively. And there's really no reason for that. Weekends are one thing. It's a weekend, I'm not trading, whatever. But starting on Sunday night through, Friday afternoon, I have to make it a point, no alcohol. And it's definitely one of those things. It's going to be a challenge just because it's been years of that, and I'm not going to get into it for various reasons. But point is, lesson learned. A lot of lessons today. I'm really going to try to take what I learned today and really let it sink in, and just recognize where I went wrong and understanding how I felt. And that's why I'm doing this video, not just to help me, but to help anybody else who's experiencing or has experienced or is undergoing the same issues that I'm facing. We all have our own issues, and I think it's good to hear other perspectives on other people's experiences with this and whatever. So anyway, rough day for me. Yes, I ended the black, but not happy about it. Just poor trading, and I really got to keep myself in check. And like I said, cutting back the alcohol during the week will be the biggest step for certain, and just trying to trade well and let myself really understand what's happening and not let the emotions take over. So with that said, I'm going to end my video here today. I hope everyone had a great day. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Hopefully next week we get a little bit more movement in the markets. Obviously with quadruple witching and all the news that happened this week, we kind of got stuck in a range, but we'll see what next week brings. So with that said, everyone, wonderful weekend, and I will speak to you all on Monday.